Hi there, I'm Eamon Hartnett and I'm with Coving.ie, and today I'm going to show you how to fit your own coving. So here we are today, we're doing a bedroom in a house, and as you can see we've everything covered. We've the floors covered, we've the furniture moved to the centre of the room, there'll be no mess on the floor. We have the curtains down and the walls are pretty much clear, so we're good to go here with some coving. Today we're going to be fitting the 5-inch Victorian. This piece suits a ceiling that's between 8 foot and 9 foot. So they're coming 8 foot long. We've timber along this end and along this end. And there's mesh in between to reinforce it. So they're good and sturdy, but you've got to keep them on their edge. If you turn them this way and they're flat, they'll break. So you've got to keep them on their edge. For cutting, I have a miter block. It's the reverse of the mould on the bench. So it sits into it like so. You can move it along there and it gives you your internal there and your external there. If you don't have a miter block, it's okay. You can use a miter box. You can get these in most hardwares. If you don't have a miter box, you can do it the old-fashioned way, and you can square up from your corner here. So if that's your first corner, you can square up from there, take your mark there, and your profile is coming down 4 inches. So this is a 4-inch block, so you can come out your 4 inches, mark it here, and then you can cut freehand this way. You can line it up like so, and at 45 degrees you can cut that way, or alternatively you can use the block. So we climb up and we use our block, we put it to the ceiling, mark around like so. You've got your line, and we also mark the ceiling with the block again and your pencil in here and here again and all the way along. The ceilings and the walls won't always be straight, so you don't always keep to your line. You split the difference between the good walls and the ceiling and the bad. We stick a couple of nails just like that, the 2 sides, and then one for here. This will hold the coving in place. So we cut the mould. We come from the corner out to just the right length, which was 15.29. Put a pencil mark there. Use our cardboard for underneath the cut. Makes cutting easier. This time we're cutting an external angle. You're better off cutting 2 to 3 pieces before you put on the first piece, so you can check. Now we countersink also. We countersink because we're going to screw it into the ceiling. If the walls are dry lined, it should be okay to countersink them into the wall. And this is, you get a screwdriver, dig a little hole that's wider than the top of your screw. First piece, put it in place, sitting on the nails. Check your corner, it's not gone in too far. It has, so we'll pull it out right with the external corner. The external corner is really important to get right, so here we'll check this next piece. Okay, so now that we know, we check our externals and make sure that they're pretty good. And they are, as you can see, they're pretty good there. And we can get some adhesive now and build them up and screw them in. Okay, so now that we know the piece is going to fit, we'll put it on the bench and get it ready for the adhesive. We've mixed up some adhesive earlier. It's like a joint filler. If you can't find Coving adhesive, you can use regular joint filler. So we put it on like this, onto the top of the mould first, pretty square, so it's going to ooze out for you. Turn it over and do the same on the bottom. Nice even bead of adhesive. So here we are with our first piece. Stick a nail in at the top just to make sure it doesn't fall down. So we're still checking. So we're just going to check this piece now, make sure we're good before we start. Yep, and it is, it's good. And a small bit of stuff on the external, and some on the bottom. That goes, and the stuff should just ooze out nice. We've got to check the other corner now with another piece. So we just go and cut another piece. Okay, this time it's the right internal. And we square it up. With one nail up, sometimes that's enough, sometimes you might need two. Just to push it into the corner to see how it goes. Okay, so you can see this piece needs to go in a bit, like so. So we know it's going to fit just nicely. This time, we're also buttering up the internal. Just a little bit of stuff on there, and then along the top again. You need to get yourself in a good position. So you're holding the mold from halfway down towards the end. And you push in, keeping your mold to your lines as much as you can. Now we're just gonna, that's okay there, it won't fall because it's held in at the corner. There we go, everything is good here, so we can start screwing it off now. The most important thing of fitting coving is keeping to your lines. You've got to keep to your lines. Sometimes you get a bow on the wall. You might have two corners standing out, one here coming out and one here coming out, and you might have a slight belly or a bow. So in that case, what you have to do is just push the coving nice and slowly. Take your time with it, that you don't fracture it, but even if you do fracture it, it's no big deal. It'll close up, so in with your hammer to close the gap. And again, screwing it into the drywall nice and easy. Most importantly, we're keeping to our lines at either end. In between doesn't matter too much if the ceilings or the wall are off. And most houses, the ceilings and the walls are off, so it's nothing unusual. Up over the nail, up roughly to your line back here on this side, and push it in nice and slowly, and we can see that fits like a glove. The walls can be crooked, the ceilings can be crooked, and sometimes the molds themselves can warp in the drying out process. There's nothing you can do about it. There's timber in behind there and there, so it causes it to warp slightly. But when you're fitting, you just push in tight everywhere and it always straightens it out. So I have two trowels for finishing. Now you don't need the two trowels, you need one trowel and a knife, or you can have the two trowels, whichever you decide. Either way will finish. Come and square down off the ceiling, keeping your mold as square as possible. It's important that it's square. You give the painter a good line for painting. And fill the holes. Now these holes will shrink after an hour, so we'll refill them again in an hour. You just square it up and fill the gap. Now we get the two tricky corners. We have an external corner here and we have an internal. Now we just start working from one side of the external and we'll work from the top down. So here we are, the internal, another important joint. This is the one people have trouble with. Keeping it nice and even as you can. Give the wall a wash as well while you're at it. That's our joint there. There's just a bit of stuff oozing out there. So we'll fill that in a couple of minutes. The most important thing is to line it up and get it right. Get it perfect. Put in the screw. And a knife. Pushing it in. And just coming down nice and square between the two molds. Washing down the joint nice and gently, that you don't wash it out. It will shrink, so we will be filling it again, but we'll try and get it as good as we can the first time. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the last piece now. See if it fits in. Okay, it does, it fits lovely. So we'll just go back now and butter that up. It's ready to go. Might be able to see it there. It shrinks in. So we'll hit it again with one more go. And after this then, when this coat dries, we'll sand it down. After everything's gone hard, just give it a quick go. Sandpaper, doesn't need that much. Just to square out the edges. As you can see, one room done in a few hours. So as you can also see, it's not a messy job. It's not as messy as one might think. And just to clean up, lift up the sheets and hoover up after us. And we're done pretty much.